Okay, we will continue from Canto 1, Chapter 12, Text 6. O Brahmanas, the opulence of the king was so enchanting that the denizens of heaven aspired for it. But because he was absorbed in the service of the Lord, nothing could satisfy him except the Lord's service. Who are we talking about? Anyone remembers?
Yudhishthir Maharaj?
Yes. So we'll go back to our one text. News even reached the celestial planets and Maharaj Yudhishthir's worldly possessions, the sacrifices by which he would attain a better destination, his queen, his stalwart brothers, his extensive land, his sovereignty over the planet Earth, his fame, etc. Okay. So we'll continue. Matur garbhagato viraha sa tada भृगुनन्दन Dadarsha Purusham Kanchit Dahyamano Sthira Tejasaha, O son of Brigu, Shaunaka. When the child Parikshit, the great fighter, was in the womb of his mother Uttara and was suffering from the burning heat of the Brahmastra thrown by Ashwadhama, he could observe the Supreme Lord coming to him. So, as a fetus in Mother Uttara's womb, baby Parikshit or fetus Parikshit was able to, I was suffering from the heat of the atomic bomb that Ashwadhama had plunged at him. And while, he was on the verge of destruction, he could see the Supreme Lord coming his way to protect him. Angusthamatram amalam sphurat purata maulinam apivya darshanam syamam tadid vasasam achyutam. He, the Lord, was only thumb high, this big, thumb high, but he was all transcendental. He had a very beautiful, blackish, infallible body. He wore a dress of lightning yellow and a helmet of blazing gold. Thus, he was seen by the child. So fortunate. As a fetus, Parikshit Maharaj got the darshan of Krishna in the womb. Shamam, blackish. Darshanam, got the darshan of the Supreme Lord in the womb, where Krishna came to protect him from the Brahmastra. Srimad Dirgha Chatur Bahum Tapta Kanchanam Kundalam Shatajaksham Gadapanim Atmana Sarvato Disham Paribhramantan Ulkabham Brahmayantam Gadam Muhu. The Supreme Lord was enriched with 4 hands, earrings of molten gold, and eyes blood red from fury. As he loitered about, his club constantly encircled him like a shooting star. Let's read that one more time. Because we have not gotten the darshan yet. I mean, we have the deity form, but it will be nice to see from the eyes of Parikshit Maharaj. The Lord was enriched with 4 hands. So, earrings of molten gold, eyes blood red with fury. Why blood red? Because when Krishna's devotee is being harmed, Krishna gets in the Narsinghadev form. Narsingha Chaturdashi is coming up on Sunday. So there you see Narsinghadev also, blood red eyes. I'm going to pause and share a story. So in Mayapur, those of you have had the great fortune of visiting or seen pictures, the Lord is in Narsinghadev form. And there they have put beautiful eyes of the Lord. And the Lord likes his eyes to be red because when he's angry, his Ugra Narsimha supposed to be red. But I can't remember, it was blue or some other color that they had, because in the deities you put eyes, they're painted and everything. So the Lord had put those eyes and he had come to the dream of the Purohit. Oh God, I can't remember the story in details. But anyway, and told him that please don't give me these blue eyes, give me red eyes, because that's how I look and that's how I want to look. Long story short, I think the Purohits made a couple of mistakes. Even after the Lord came and told him, he put it on. And there was some consequence, which I can't remember, unfortunately. But yes, it was a very nice, daivic, transcendental consequence he had to face. Since I'm not able to remember this pastime, I'll tell you another pastime in Narshikadev in Mayapur. One time, the Pujari, it was winter time, the Supreme Lord was left on the altar was closed, and there was no shawl or blanket that was put on him. The Pujari was in a different mind, so he forgot to put this blanket. Generally, you'll see Radha Madhav and all, they have a little shawl or a blanket on them. Narshingadev also. But this one day, the Pujari forgot. So as he went to sleep, he woke up in the middle of the night, and guess what? Next to him was Narshingadev inside his blanket. He sprung out of bed in fear. And I mean, imagine Krishna is sweet. Narsingadev is very ugra. Him next to you in bed. He's like, you didn't put the shawl on me, so I had to come here. He immediately woke up early in the morning, took a shower, ran to the altar, opened the door, and he realized, oh God, I'm so sorry, I didn't put the shawl on you. And he tucked the Lord up and then came back to his room. So, point is, Narshikadev is very Jagrata in Mayapur. And he has many pastimes, many leelas with devotees and pujaris and all these personalities. But coming back to the red eyes, Krishna had red eyes, is described here, is when he gets very angry, when his devotees are in danger. The Supreme Lord gets, when somebody insults him or hits him or does anything to him, he doesn't care. Somebody calls him chor, makhan chor, ran chor, calls him a thief, calls him different names. Gopis make him dance, punish him. Mother Yashoda shows him a stick. He enjoys all that. But if his devotees are bothered, Krishna takes a personal, vengeance to that. So thus, uh, one time Nrsimhadev pastime was narrated by a devotee, and the story was mentioned as the ultimate love story, because that's what it is. When somebody loves someone and that beloved gets in danger, the lover becomes transcendently angry, and that's Narshikadev's story for Prahlad Maharaj and for his devotees. That when devotees are in danger, the Supreme Lord, can, who's so beautiful looking, playing the flute and so soft and everything, so soft that his body gets scratched by the touch of flowers. That's how delicate Krishna is. But that same Krishna takes a Nrsimhadev form when his devotee is in danger. So it's love that is manifested. Just like Jagannath is also a form of love, right? Mood of separation. When Krishna is missing Srimati Radharani, he's hearing about Srimati Radharani, and thereby, big eyes, water, tears coming out. So that's Jagannath in mood of separation. It's a form of Lord's conjugal love. So Nrsimhadev is also a form of love, although it's hard to imagine with big teeth, big nails, but it's actually love for his devotee, his protection, right? That's so ultimate love story. So Lord's physically, his most prominent attribute is his beauty. Physically speaking, like he's this, he's intelligent, he's this, he's powerful, strong, and all that. But beauty, that's the most prominent. And if you see his nature, the most prominent aspect of the Lord is his Bhakta Vatsala, his love for his devotees. Nothing is superior to the love that the Lord has for his devotees. And especially those devotees who are in this material world, who are trying to become his devotees. In the Bhagavatam, we will read that the Lord says, Krishna says that uh, even Lakshmi Devi is not as dear to me as the devotees in Bhumandala and planet Earth who are trying to be devotee in Kali Yuga, in material life. It's so difficult to focus on God when there's so many distractions, so many things are against us, and yet a devotee is fighting all those and trying to be his devotee. Even Lakshmi Devi is not dear to him as much as these devotees who are trying to be his devotee. So it's very encouraging how the Lord thinks, how His mind works towards us. Even though we are most fallen, we are nothing, no qualifications whatsoever. Still, the Supreme Lord sees us in that way, and that's our encouragement. So just bloody eyes. Uh, earring molten, earrings of molten gold, eyes blood red with fury, as he loitered about, his club constantly encircling him like a shooting star. Right? Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. So the Gada was encircling him like a shooting star, and thereby protecting Parikshit Maharaj. Astra Teja Swagadaya Niharam Eva Gopitaha Vidhamantam Sannikarse Parikya Sata Ka Iti Asau. The Lord was thus engaged in vanquishing the radiation of the Brahmastra. Just as the sun evaporates a drop of dew, he was observed by the child who taught about who he was. So there's a very special child, and his name is Parikshit, right? Uh, Later on, we will find out why its name. I'll not give it away yet. But point is, the child is so special. The Supreme Lord personally came, protected him, gave him darshan, and by his darshan purified, right? And also showed him what the Lord is capable of. So when somebody sees that Krishna is protecting me, he's fearless. He doesn't get fearful of difficult situations, fear of Maya, fear of this, that. He knows the Supreme Lord is there. So, as devotees, we also experience the loving protection of the Supreme Lord. And thereby, we also become fearless that Krishna is there. Nothing to worry. Okay. Chapter 12, text 11. Vidhuya tat amayatma Bhagavan dharma vibhu misato dash dashamasya Tatravantar Dadhe Harihi. While thus being observed by the child, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul of everyone, and the Protector of the righteous, who stretches in all directions and who is unlimited by time and space, disappeared at once. So he comes, he protects, and it disappears. So Uttara, by the calling of Uttara, Uttara was in great distress. He requested for the Lord's protection of her child, and the Supreme Lord protected the child, and it disappeared from sight. So, in again bringing the Narsingadev example, Bahir Narsinga Ridaye Narsinga. Same way, Krishna is outside as this is happening, as the scene is being happening. Krishna is outside with all the devotees there, Arjuna and Uttara and everything is. So while he is outside, he is also inside. Only Krishna can do that. Simultaneous oneness and difference. So while he is outside, he also enters Uttara's womb and protects her baby. And he disappears from the sight of the baby. Okay, somebody wants to read?
Prabhuji, I just had one more thing to add. I think the name Parikshit had a very interesting meaning to it. I think you already might know, but I think when Krishna goes inside the womb to protect the child from the Astra, the child keeps looking around, and I think just the word looking around means Parikshit. So I think that's how the name was derived.
We will get there. Bhagavatam will explain also. We'll get there. Parikshit means one who inspects very carefully, whether it's scriptures, whether it's things. So we'll get there. Why he was named that way. Okay. Anything else? Okay, somebody wants to read?
Prabhuji,
Ha,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about Narsingadev deity in Mayapur.
Mhm.
While we are watching the Mangal Aarti, sometimes I notice the Sheshnag moving, forward and backward a little. How does that, does that happen
There are
on its own?
springs attached, and that's how it's. So when there is wind, it moves. We should not
Okay.
look too deep into it. I know at YouTube it has been made viral that look, this is happening, that's happening. No, it's attached with invisible strings.
I
That's
see.
when there is movement.
Right. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. There are real miracles that happen, but unfortunately, when people just to go viral, talk about these things, and everything gets diluted. So it's very important we be scientific, and at the same time, when there is a miracle, we recognize that also. There are very beautiful. There's a whole book on that Mayapur Narsinghadev deity's miracles. Pankaj Angri Prabhu has written a complete book on Rajapur Jagannath and Mayapur's Narsinghadev. The pastimes are unlimited and absolutely like you can't stop reading when you start reading it. It's heart wrenching. It's heart touching, not heart wrenching, heart touching. But again, things that are real are real. Things that are not real, we should know as it is. Okay. Somebody wants to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll read.
Please.
तथा सर्वा गुणो नरके सनाकूला ग्रहोदय ज्ञाने वंशाधरा पांडुर भूया पंदुर इव इवोजशु. Thereupon, when all the good signs of the zodiac gradually evolved, the heir apparent of Pandu, who would be exactly like him in prowess, took birth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, coming from the Pandavas dynasty, as we know, Draupadi's 5 sons were killed by this very crooked man. So, the last possible of the Pandu dynasty, he also tried to destroy Ashwatthama. He was trying to destroy Parikshit Maharaj. But by Krishna's mercy, the dynasty did not end. Parikshit was protected by the Supreme Lord, and thus this great devotee is being born. Anybody remembers who's the father of Parikshit Maharaj, who was also killed in the battle?
Abhimanyu.
That's right, Abhimanyu. So
Abhimanyu.
Abhimanyu and Uttara had. So this is Arjuna's grandson. Parikshit Maharaj is Arjuna's grandson. So, very great lineage. Very fortunate to get darshan of the Supreme Lord even before taking birth. And because of him, Srimad Bhagavatam, has been made available to the people of Kali Yuga. So we're very fortunate because of Parikshit Maharaj, we have access to Srimad Bhagavatam. Thereupon, when all the good signs of the zodiac gradually evolved, the heir apparent of Pandu. So zodiac signs meaning, when a great person comes in astrologically, all the right planets, the right systems are there, and thus a great devotee of the Lord is born at the right time. And the heir apparent of Pandu, so Pandavas, dynasty, who would be exactly like him in prowess, took birth. Tasya Prita Manaraja Viparir Dhaumya Kripadibhi Jatakam Karyam Asa Vachetiva Chamangalam. King Yudhishthir was very satisfied with the birth of Maharaj Parikshit, had the purificatory process of birth performed. Learned Brahmanas headed by Dhaumya and Kripa recited auspicious hymns. So, in the Vedic system, we have transitory rituals throughout our lives. So before the child is born, the parents do the ritual of Garbhadhan Samskara. So before the act of procreation, the parents purify the womb. So a wonderful devotee of the Lord is attracted to the womb. Once the child is born, there are purificatory rituals, which is being talked about right now. There's Namkaran ceremony, there's Churakaran ceremony, shaving the hair. There is, earrings ceremony, all of that. You see, even Krishna, when he is born, there's Namkaran ceremony. And the Jyotish, the astrologers who come, they're like, whoa, this is the Supreme Lord. But not to, make it a big deal for the parents, they talk in slightly cryptic language, saying the person who came in Treta Yuga, in greenish complexion has come in Dwapar Yuga in dark complexion, and he'll come in Kali Yuga in golden complexion, Lord Chaitanya, right? So referring multiple ways that Krishna is born. So Supreme Lord comes according to predicted time in the scriptures. It's not a random occurrence. For millennia after millennia, it is known when Krishna will come, when Lord Chaitanya will come, when Lord Ramachandra will come, when Varaha will come, when Kurma will come. So all of these are very specifically timed. So any Tom, Dick, and Harry being born and said, I am God, we should be careful, because they're not mentioned in the scriptures, and their time of arrival is also not mentioned in the scriptures. That's how we know they're cheaters. So we should be aware of the cheating, so-called cheating godmen, and we should be aware of the avatars of the Supreme Lord who are genuine and authentic, as mentioned in the scriptures. We have disciplic succession, but Shankaracharya do not have. Is it right? Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva incarnate. He has his own disciplic succession, not the Vaishnava disciplic succession, but he has a specific purpose for which he came. He did his purpose, just like Lord Buddha came after him. Madhvacharya came in the Vaishnava disciplic succession, coming from Lord Brahma. So Shankaracharya has a different disciplic succession, deals with a different purpose. The purpose is not about going back to Godhead, to the kingdom of God. The purpose is something else. This is a topic that can be discussed at a later point, but for now, that is how I would leave it. Okay.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So Parikshit Maharaj is born, and King Yudhishthira is very happy. He has become a grandfather, just like Arjuna, right? Everybody is celebrating because all their children were dead, and there's no envy, right? The Draupadi's 5 sons were killed, but Arjuna's grandson somehow survived, and thus they're happy that there is somebody who can take forward the dynasty. Hiranyam gam mahim gramam hasti aswan nripatir varan pradat swannam cha vipribhya praja tirthe satirthavid. Upon the birth of a son, the king, who knew how, where, and when charity should be given, gave gold, land, villages, elephants, horses, and good food grains to the Brahmanas. It's very important to understand this statement where it says where and when charity should be given. But I'll go back to the previous verse to cover another part about transitions in life. As human beings, there is not much difference between animals and humans. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunamscha samanya etat pashubhi samana. Pashubhi samana. Ahara nidra bhaya. So eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are 4 things that are common between humans and animals. Pashubhi samana. But Brahmo hiteshu adhiko hiteshu. There's one thing that's different. That we ask questions about spiritual life. Brahmena hina pashubhi samana. If you don't ask questions, then you're just like an animal. Hitopadesh saying, I'm not saying it. So what makes us different from 4-legged animals? We are 4 limbs. We are animals unless we are asking questions about higher purpose of life. So in this human form of life, because we have the faculty of intelligence to ask higher questions, there are certain things that we have created society in a certain way. And one of those things is transitory rituals. So as the child is born, there are rituals. As the child passes through adolescence, there are rituals. Now that you're an adolescent, you are going through puberty. Your body will go through changes, and you will have to learn to control your senses, right? And then the child goes through the process of marriage. So now you're become an adult. You will take responsibility of family life. You will take responsibility of another person that is coming to your life. So there is the ritual of marriage. Marriage means in society, I'm taking a vow that I will take care of my wife, and the wife takes care of the husband. and both take vows that they will take care of each other. And within the dharmic system, they will protect, defend, and serve each other as partners in life, with the goal being Krishna conscious. The goal is that we want to serve God and we will help each other grow in our spiritual life as we move and encourage each other towards our spiritual journey towards Krishna. And then, when somebody gets old, right, and the child becomes capable and then becomes an adult, and then there is vanaprastha transition, there is sannyas transition. There's transitions throughout our life. I think there are 16 transitions throughout our life. So the reason for these transitions is to remind us that there are certain responsibilities at certain times of our life, and also the fact that we are getting towards death. Death is the ultimate transition. So as we get older, our hair gets grayer. There are certain things we are supposed to, responsibilities that we give our children, responsibilities that we offload from our shoulders. We move more towards spiritual life, right? And transitions help us, remind us time. Hey, it's time. Just like there are alarm clocks, right? We wake up at a certain time, we eat at a certain time, we go to work at a certain time, we come back home at a certain time. If you're an entrepreneur, there is no such thing. But having said that, there are transitions in a day. We call Sandhya Vandanam. That's why there are 3 transitions. In a 24 hours day, there are transitions of 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. Right? And that's why you see Gayatri Mantra is chanted and recited during the Sandhya period. Three Sandhya we say. So 3 transitions. So why? Because transitioning from mode of goodness to mode of passion to mode of ignorance. One time you're doing meditation, worship, rituals in the morning, then you're going into work, mode of passion, then you time to retire and sleep. So that way it's a reminder throughout the day. Transition in our life also. Now, okay, you're a child, now you've become an adolescent, now you've become an adult, you're taking responsibility, now you've become, you're moving closer to death, you're retiring, so vanaprastha, and then now it's time to, give up all attachments and prepare for death, prepare for ultimate moksha, sannyas. So throughout our life, transitions are there to remind us what is our responsibility, what is our duty. So beginning with what we see here, that's happening with Parikshit Maharaj. So now, coming to the point of charity. Upon the birth of the son, the king who knew how, where, and when charity should be given. So those of you who are in the Bhagavad Gita class in the morning, chapter 14 is coming up soon, where we will learn about charity in the mode of goodness, charity in the mode of passion, charity in the mode of ignorance. When to do charity, right? What is the right time? For example, there are people who are beggars on the street. Let's say you give money to a beggar. What are they going to do? They're going to take that money and buy some bidi and smoke bidi and harm themselves, right? If you give them some prasad, maybe that can purify them. They can nourish their body and nourish their soul, right? But if you give money to a unqualified person, they will misuse it. You give fire to a child, they will get burnt. They will not know how to handle it. So same way, charity should be given in a proper way and given the right person at the right time in the right circumstance, right? So Krishna will talk about that, because just to show off, you do some charity and so your name gets on a little board. That's one kind of charity, mode of passion. But charity where no one gets to know, you give charity because it's your duty to give charity, because you're a good grihastha, and it's the only grihasthas are the only ones earning in society. The brahmacharis are not earning, the vanaprasthis are not earning, the sannyasis are not earning. So brahmacharis earn, grihasthas earn, and grihasthas are supposed to give charity and support the other 3 ashrams. That's the idea. So charity is in a matter of duty is sattvic. I'm not giving it to you because I'm bigger than you. I am supposed to give. You give it to a Brahmana, you give it to a Vaishnava, you give it to somebody who will take that money, utilize it in service of the Lord, and give knowledge. You give charity for Go Seva. A cow will eat grass and give milk, right? So that's how the grihasthas are meant to fuel the society. So we should know how to utilize money. So as a king, now he's supposed to give gold and land and cows, but he knows who to give, how to give. If he gives it to a thug, they will use it. Like, should I say, we are in the middle of a war with a certain neighbor of ours. And guess what? They have been given F-16s and they have been given all these wonderful weapons and all that by several countries like Turkey, like the US and others, and China and others, right? And how are they using it, right? They don't know how to handle it. It became a big problem when they became a nuclear nation. Why? Because the fear of America was that this country will license it out to rogue nations like North Korea or Iran or countries like that that are already, Palestine. So it's not good because they don't know how to handle atomic weapon, and they're going to give it to people who don't know how to handle atomic weapon. They're going to use it, unnecessarily and cause damage because they don't have a sense of ethics or morality. They're just unruly. So that's the fear. So same way, giving charity to someone who can't handle it, the karma comes back to you as well. If you're giving it to somebody who will use it for the wrong purposes, then you will also get some of that karma. Now let's talk about something controversial. Let's say body parts, right? Many people are into organ donation. What if your organ is going to somebody who's a drug dealer, who's a murderer, who's a rapist, and who's going to use your heart and pump his body and do some nonsense, right? How is that going to work out? I'm not saying don't donate, but be careful. So we must be intentional in life. It's important in charity, in work, in everything we do. We must be intentional in life. What are we using it for? What is the purpose of it? Are our resources being used for hurting people or helping people? Dharmic people don't hurt others. Adharmic people are there to harm others. So it's important to understand, are we here to hurt people or are we here to help people? And directly or indirectly. Of course, indirectly the karma is less, but still there is karma. So if you're giving a sweet box to a diabetic person, that person might be very happy. We might be very happy to see them happy, but are we harming them or helping them? Right? Whereas a doctor with a knife might be hurting a person, cutting them open, but it is for healing purposes. It's not the same way that a butcher has a knife, right? So intention matters. In life, we must be intentional in what we do. And thereby, we're able to, get to a destination, and the karma works accordingly. That's why Prabhupada said International Society for Krishna Consciousness, because the consciousness has to be acting in Krishna's favor. Then, even though Arjuna is killing people with his arrows, he's doing bhakti. And the devotee who is, doing arati on the altar is also doing bhakti. And the devotee who's driving the car to get bhoga for the temple is also doing bhakti. Because the intent is service to Krishna. Any questions on this?
Prabhuji, I had a question
Yes.
regarding donation, right? And one thing that caught my eye was the organ donation.
Mm-hmm.
And in case of organ donation, I mean, we are intentionally giving some part of our body to someone to help them out, right? But that brings me to a question
We
as
are not
to,
intentionally doing that. We must be intentional who gets it.
okay, but
Because
in
you
that
are in the US or Canada?
US project.
US. So driving license, God forbid something happens to someone, then they decide who it goes to. So all I'm saying is be careful. Have a will,
Hmm.
have conditions. Helping people is wonderful, but helping the right people is more important.
So Prabhuji, I mean, the body is given to us by Krishna. Who are we to decide what we should give and what we shouldn't? I mean, it
Who
should
else will
be.
decide? The body is given to us by Krishna. So we are the caretakers of the body. So
So
we
shouldn't we
must
give it?
decide how the body is used. Who else will decide? Your
No,
neighbor will decide.
shouldn't it be given back? Let's say, to cremate in the same, or not in the same, probably in a well-preserved manner as we were given.
how you use your body is your karma, your choice, because it has been given to you. If I give you $5 million and I tell you, Yogesh, keep it safely, invest it safely, you're responsible for the money. It's my money, but I'm giving it to you as a caretaker for the money. I trust you to grow it. But if you just spend the money in buying a couple of Ferraris and beach houses and say, Prabhu, sorry, the money is gone, who's responsible? You or your neighbor? Who am I
It
going to
is,
sue?
yeah, me. Yeah.
Yeah. So Krishna has given you the body, but how you take care of the body, you are responsible for taking care of it.
But we should also return it in the same way, right? I mean, I don't know, Prabhuji. I mean, I have mixed feelings about organ donation. I mean, to me, it feels
I
like,
purposely said it because I knew this would be a controversy. But
yeah,
think intellectually, think bhakti way. What is the right thing, right? From a bhakti perspective, we are supposed to be intentional. All I'm saying is because we talk about charity, right
right.
time, right place, to the right person. It's referring to Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says in chapter 14, and it defines it. We'll discuss this in great details when we get there. But it's important to think in that direction. Be intentional. Don't just be like on your driver license says organ donor, and then it goes to some Tom, Dick, and Harry who can do anything, right? I can tell you organ donor stories also. It's very, very weird how consciousness travels. A little boy, uh, innocent boy, he got shot in the middle of two drug lords fighting. Two gangs were having gunfire. He was in the ghetto and he got shot, and he needed a heart transplant. Somehow he got the heart of a gang member, one of those gang members actually, who got killed. Their heart was transplanted to the boy. In 6 months, this boy was an innocent boy, a very good student, a good boy. Within 6 months, he started acting completely different. And he took up guns and he started shooting people and he died in a shootout. You read up on this, you'll understand. In the heart region, there is the consciousness, right? So consciousness gets transferred. For a good person, good. For a bad person. So these things, I'm not getting in the nitty-gritties of it. This is not the time for it. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're doing charity, do it to the right person at the right time. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Be intentional on who you help. Help everyone, but don't fuel their negative tendencies. Yes, Chandrima Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
Prabhuji, we see doctors, right? They take oath that they will save everybody. So in that case, even the murderers and everybody, they still have to save. Whereas they still know that they might go out again, kill somebody or do crimes. So in that case, is karma still acting upon them, on the
It's not
doctor?
charity. Please understand. That's not, I'm talking specifically about charity. Healing someone is a doctor's duty and they must do it,
Okay.
right? Like the sunlight. It's supposed to
Mhm.
purify, it purifies urine, it purifies seawater, it purifies Ganga water also.
Mhm.
Sunlight. Charity is an intentional thing. I have some money. It's my duty to give. Who do I give it to? Like inheritance. There are people who write their inheritance to their dog. There are people who realize that my children are not capable of handling my company or my money, so they create a trust, and there are trustees, and there are rules in place. Thereby, they responsibly give it forward to the next generation without letting them screw it up.
Hmm.
That's the right thing to do. Srila Prabhupada, he saw how Gaudiya Math completely fell apart after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left. So he made ISKCON in such a way that no one person can destroy it. Every ISKCON temple is a different legal entity under the brand of ISKCON globally. But there is no global ISKCON entity. There's Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, which is separately created to make sure even ISKCON goes down, the books get printed. Separate legal entity. So Prabhupada created a structure so that future leadership, even if they're not capable, still ISKCON will go on. The propagation of bhakti will go on through the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So all I'm saying is, when you're doing charity, be intentional. I'm not saying don't help people. That's not at all what I'm saying. If you're an educator, if you're a doctor, if you're a preacher, Lord Nityananda said, go to every jagai madhai of Kali Yuga and help them. That's our target audience. The more
Hmm.
fallen, the more ripe they are to receive Lord Nityananda's mercy. It's not at all elitist mentality. All I'm saying very carefully is about charity only. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay. Any other questions on this topic? Okay. Text 15.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Krishna.
Prabhuji, I'm just wanting to ask one thing. So
Uh-huh.
on the organ donation part and all of that.
Yes.
So so a basic thing of organ donation is also blood donation, which is like more. I'm sorry, one second. Yes, Prabhuji, am I audible?
You're audible. For the first time,
Yeah.
you're actually clearly audible.
Okay, so I should then join classes from metro station. Prabhuji, so I was asking that is blood donation also something which we should be careful about?
Bro, I'm not telling you not to donate your organ or donate your blood. Let's make that thing one very clear. Doing good for others is a wonderful thing. You giving your blood and it saves a life, it's a wonderful thing. What to speak of the fact that you have a sattvic diet, you're not a drug addict, you're not, you don't have harmful toxins in your body. Fantastic. And you're a devotee. So by your blood, somebody else will not only get physically purified, but even spiritually purified. Right? Same thing can happen for your organ donation also. All I'm saying is there's a personal choice. I'm not giving you any standard. Don't do it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be intentional. That's all I'm saying. How you apply this principle is completely up to you. Because there is no scriptural standard, don't give organs. Because back in the days, that was not a thing. Maybe there was a thing. Actually, though, there were organ transplants that happened before. Having said that, I can't give you a scriptural standard that this is what we do or you don't do. All I'm saying is be intentional when you're giving charity. So blood donation, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Helping people, we devotees, we are supposed to give. That's what we are born to do. Just don't fuel the negative tendencies of negative people through charity, is what I meant to say.
Got it, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Saying I was not aware is not a good answer when it comes to karma. Just like when you're driving, you must know the laws of the road and you drive. If you don't know, you will get penalized by the cameras that are, the police system. Same way, we must know what are the rules, what are the things. It's very much case by case basis, right? Just be careful. Rishabh is asking, Prabhuji, I'm traveling home and thus can't speak. There are times when we see we can help a good one, but it can harm us as well. Should we do it even if it harms us? You should protect yourself first. Let the professionals do their work. That's how I have been trained. So, for example, if somebody is drowning and you try to save them, they can potentially pull you down with them because a drowning person is frantic and their brain is not working straight. So, to survive, if you're not strong enough, they can actually pull you down. And if you don't know how to swim, both of you might drown, which happens a lot of times. Somebody goes to save someone and they drown, and other person might survive or not. But if a helicopter comes, or somebody who knows how to save someone, a lifeguard comes, somebody with a boat comes, they can save a person, right? So putting yourself in the way of harm is not something I would recommend. When you become a pure devotee, that's a different story. Jesus Christ took the sins of others and died on the cross. That's a whole different level. We're not there yet. For now, your mother and father needs you. Your future family needs you. So don't put yourself in the way of the harm. But if we can help and it doesn't harm us, we must help. If we see something wrong, like, there was this video that went viral on Twitter and other places where this girl was getting stabbed by her ex-boyfriend. 16 times she was stabbed. And I was shocked to see the video that people were just passing by, looking at it as if there's nothing, right? Just passing by. So that is not okay. When you see something like that, throw a stone at the guy. He has a knife, so you might not go directly and pull him out, but throw a stone, make a noise, shout out, oh my God, oh my God. Look what is happening. At least that might scare the guy and he might run away and a life is saved. So you must help to the degree you can help without hurting yourself. That would be my recommendation. But again, when you become a very great devotee, like Jesus Christ or Srila Prabhupada, or great personalities like Bhaktitirtha Maharaj. Bhaktitirtha Maharaj is one of our ISKCON sannyasis who, when he went to Africa, he was preaching profusely in Africa. He saw the poverty and the difficulty that they were going through. He prayed to Krishna one day. He said, as much karma as can be taken from them, he asked for that karma to come to him. And immediately he grew these tumors in his bones and the most intense pain possible and the most painful form of cancer he developed. And he passed away within 3 to 6 months, I believe. But throughout his life, he did so much seva. And as he was dying, he was giving lectures on how to die in Krishna consciousness, right? He used his life, his service completely in Krishna service and took away the sins of so many people. Haridas Thakur, we know. Vasudev Datta, great devotee of Lord Chaitanya. He was like, you liberate the entire universe and let me suffer eternally. Lord Chaitanya was like, what kind of mind that Vasudev Datta has? He's actually Prahlad Maharaj. So Lord Chaitanya said, you've purchased me with your mentality. You don't have to suffer. What is it? It's just one universe. The Supreme Lord can just liberate it like that. Since you asked, consider it done. So that's the greatness of devotees. That's the mindset of a devotee. So devotees are in that mood. Having said that, we are not there yet. So we have to take care of ourselves. Just like at the airplane, it says, put the oxygen mask on yourself, then put it on the person next to you. Even if it's your own child, first protect yourself, then you have the ability to protect others. So first become perfect in Krishna consciousness, become a pure devotee, and then you can do all these great charities and self-sacrifice and become Jesus Christ. But till then, please, self-survival is more important. It's not selfishness, it's self-survival. Okay, anything else? We have 4 more minutes. I will take this opportunity to say thank you to Ragni Mataji and Bhashwati Mataji, seeing you after a very long time. Thank you very much for joining.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Congratulations on your wedding.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, if there's no questions, then I'll request Ragni Mataji to read the next verse.
Me, Prabhuji, from...
So you're on the board, huh?
Yeah, not
Okay.
really, Prabhuji. Sure, I will read for next Friday for sure.
Okay, sure.
Sorry,
No
Prabhuji.
problem.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll end it here. It's 8:27. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. See you next Friday. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.